I'm the Divine Miss Mikki. It's that time of the month. Not really that time of the month. Maybe I should change the way I say that. I know there's a few girls that are kind of laughing right now. Guys are going, what's she on about? I'm having a joke. I've had a good day. So you never know what's going to happen. I think I'm having good days every day. Well, apart from all the physical stuff, but yeah. We'll go into that another time. Anyway, it's numerology time. Now, when I did it for February, I was very ambitious, thinking I could do nice, clean, short videos doing the month and breaking it up into, 2 weeks, and then even that was just like ridiculously long for me. So I thought I would actually make it into weeks, so a week at a time. Much more simpler. It's easier to sort of work through, and then you look back and you go, okay, that was that week, now we go into the next. So here we are. It's going to be, for those who don't know, I do numerology with a mix of tarot and oracle. And the decks I'll be using today, we'll start off with, we've got the Shamanic Medicine Oracle cards. Absolutely beautiful. I love these cards. I love all my cards. But some become favourites. They're all becoming favourites, to be honest. It's just the way it is. And then we've got Yasmin Boland's Moonology Oracle cards. So we've got 2 of these, because that's what Spirit said. We're going to have one of these. And we will have Denise Lynn Native Spirit. These are gorgeous. So Denise Lynn's card, one of those. And of course, as it's numerology, we have to have an angel number card, an angel message. Very positive, and they give great advice. So that's to go with each day. Pulled out, I can say randomly, but Spirit's the one that said, yeah, that one, yeah, that one. And I'm just like, okay. Anyway, March is going to be an interesting month. Oh, let's face it, every month is going to be interesting for quite some time. It's universally, it's a 2-month, but it's a master number because it's an 11. Now, in the numerology I learnt, we still always, even the master numbers, we reduce down to a single number. But you just have that extra vibration, that extra energy of the master number, which gave it more significance. This is a month of spiritual healing. This is a month of growth. So it's up to us, individually and collectively. It is up to us to choose to work with that. Now, this is a universal month number. We are in a universal 8 year. We are in a universal, we're heading now into a universal 11/2 a universal month. As I said, it's a very interesting month. It could bring out a lot of sensitivity. If it does, if you find yourself being triggered much easier, then that's for you to sit back and go, okay, what do I need to work on? Is there something is there a reason why I've got triggered? I spoke about that in a previous video, about how I was triggered about someone's controlling behavior, because it took me back to my past of controlling and controlling people and And I found I was being triggered, so I sat back and I went, okay, this is interesting. So this is why I know what I'm talking about, because I do it myself. You know, I don't tell people to do things I don't believe in. And certainly pretty much everything, almost everything, is what I've experienced and done myself. So if you're feeling triggered, do what helps you balance. There's some fantastic healing frequencies on YouTube. In a previous video, I did put a link to one that I found, and wow, very, very good. So, but you've got to work with what works for you. You know, go have a cup of tea. For some people, cup of tea works wonders. It's my organic tea. I only drink organic herbal tea or coconut water. You know, maybe a few juices here or there, that, yes, but specific things. Because hell, I'm full of allergies. And I'm waffling again. I should be a waffle line, shouldn't I? I make enough waffle. Anyway. Oh. I've got a cat zooming. You know how dogs zoom? I've got a cat that zooms. So anyway, we're getting back to March. The significance of this month. I know I've listened to a lot of astrological stuff, and this is a very, very powerful month. But it's the month before. It's from what I know, I think we have. I know April there's an eclipse. I think maybe at the end of March there's a lunar eclipse. If you're hearing banging going on, that is Leo, my cat, trying to get through the glass window to the geckos, the little lizards, on the other side. He hasn't figured out yet that he can't tunnel his way through. He's a beautiful, loving cat, but, you know, not always the smartest tool in the shed when it comes to that. He's stopped now. So March is interesting because it's preempting what is coming. Being a 2-year, look at music for healing. We talked about that. Be aware of your emotions, your feelings. Universally in the world, there could be a lot of inroads that can be made in spirituality rather than religion. There's sort of a fine line there in places. So spirituality, but because we've got the 2 there, this is more along the lines of healing. It can be a coming together of people. Let's hope that it works on bringing peace to the world. But we have to start with ourselves, so, you know. Peace starts within. So find the peace within yourself. So let's go through the days, because I don't want this to be a really long video, because it takes forever to load. And I do everything late at night, because that's when it's normally quiet. Not easy for the men round here to mow the lawn when it's, you know, at 10 o'clock at night. So, a lot of bored men round here. There's a lot of mowing that goes on. So, we're going to talk about the 1st of March. So, the 1st of March is a 3-day. Now, 3 is a lovely number. Beautiful number. I love 3. It is a joyous number. It's an imaginative number. It's about cheer. It's about happiness. It's about using your imagination and looking at yourself and, you know, the workings of yourself. That brings us to the shadow side of the 3. Now, with that, the 3 can bring out selfishness, self-centeredness. It can bring out manipulation using that self-centeredness. So it's always to be aware that there's two sides to every number. So when we're aware of both sides, we can work with that. So applying that universally, it should, by rights, be, on the whole, a pleasant day. That's on the whole. What we might see is some bigger cases of self-centeredness. And heaven knows there's enough of that going on around, isn't there? You see that a lot. But by all intents and purposes, it should be a much easier year. Much easier day. Taking into account this is the universal day for March. So this is a general energy. That's what the universal is it's a general energy that is going around the earth for that day. So with our cards that we've got for the day, I haven't seen these, so this is going to be something new for me. But they said of the shamanic medicine oracle cards, they said to do 2. And the first one we've got is North. So it'd be like the North Star. And it's got solitude, which I find rather interesting because 3 is a very gregarious number. Just a little bit below the 5. You know, the odd numbers in numerology are normally the more introverted, numbers. But the 3 and the 5, they're the hello, I'm here. So this might be saying that here you've got a chance, and this is on a global stage, to go within. Now when we go within, the next card is the shapeshifter, which is perspective. I get an idea what we're going on here about, because when you go within, you can find a new perspective. You can see things differently. So that's pretty good. I see what they're saying. So being a 3 year and being that the 3 is about the self, this Spirit is saying, take the opportunity to go within on this day. Look at things within yourself that you'd like to heal. This universal month, the 11-2, particularly on an emotional, spiritual, healing the inner self, on that level. And often we tend to find the answers in solitude. That solitude can help us find a new perspective. So that's the shamanic ones. Next we've got the moonology. Now let's see how this is going to work with those cards. Oh, full moon is Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. I got to see a theme coming up here. So, I'm just going to get this part. In your solitude, changing your perspective because you're looking at the bigger picture. Hey, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, that would work. Now we have Native Spirit. This is the Great Mystery. Now I haven't got to know what each of these cards, so I'm going to do this intuitive. I haven't got to know what each card means in this particular deck, but I work on it intuitively. And we're talking about going within. We're talking about the spiritual healing and about in your solitude and your perspective, because there can be a lot of mystery within. When we don't look within, there's a lot we don't see. And sometimes we can unravel mysteries about ourselves when we look at things from a new perspective. We can maybe sort of find out, oh, so that's why I get upset when this happens, or that's why I get triggered by this, because you've gone within and you've gone, yeah, I did have something happen and now I'm being affected. I can only give my best thing is to give my own example, and one of the things is I do have a problem with raised voices, loud voices, yeah, sort of like aggressive voices. There is a reason for that, which I won't go into, but yeah, and I know where it comes from, and I'm working on being able to heal that so that I'm no longer affected. So I hope someone can relate to that. Oh, and this is our numerology card, 31. I am disciplined. Now that, when we look at that, just going in with the other cards and your solitude and changing your perspective, you've got to have a certain amount of discipline, self-discipline, because this is a self number. You've got to have some discipline to be able to do that, so that you can get that new perspective, so that you can unravel any mysteries about yourself that you didn't know, and look at a bigger picture. So with the 31, we have your approach to life is an effective mix of both practicality and imagination. There's the 3. Your mind is stirring with creative ideas, and you have the organizational skills to manifest them to life. So look at that, going within, looking for a new perspective, looking at the bigger picture, unraveling great mysteries, and using discipline, I'm getting motivation. So I would say organizational motivation would probably be what I feel fits in with the 31. So that's for the first. Now we go on to the second. Now the second, as with numerology, the numbers follow sequence until you get to the 9, and then it brings you back to the 1. And so, of course, naturally following the 3 is the 4. Now the 4 it's a practical number. 4 is laying foundations for the future. It's hands-on. It's getting right into the nitty-gritty, it's the worker's number. And I'm pretty sure I got this from my numerologist teacher, who's in spirit because she's been talking, and she added earthly realms. So what does earthly realms mean? Well, earthly realms is of the earth, and 4 is a number of the earth, because it's getting your hands dirty. It's getting in there and doing the work that needs to be done. And that is an earthly realm thing. So it's not of the spiritual, it's of the earth. It's like the number 22 is made up of 2 2s, 2 being a spiritual, feminine, musical, sensitive number, but they're of the emotions. It is of the higher realms. It usually signifies 2 people, but so does the 11. But when you bring the 22 to a single digit, it comes to the 4. And this is where people that are born on a 22-day can have problems, because they sometimes can get, until they get balanced, they can clash between the emotional side and the physical side. So they're trying to raise their vibration, but the physical side pulls them back down. So they can have a bit more of a battle. So, oops, hang on, yep, no, that's the ones. Yep, ooh, just saw the number. So for the 4, practicality, hands-on, laying foundations, earthly realms, getting there and get dirty. Universally, this could be a day of working things out. Universally, this could be where getting in and, okay, we want to rebuild this. Let's get in there and start making it happen. It's a day where things can start to be, on a practical level, can be made to start happening. So our cards, purpose, wow. So this is the first one, sacred site, purpose. Now it kind of looks a bit like foundations. Kind of looks like that, for being laying foundations for the future. So let's see what the next card is. Oh, I absolutely love what this is saying. Laying the foundations for peace. How beautiful is that? So it doesn't mean we're going to have it on that day, but we start laying the foundations. So come on, all you world leaders. Pull your finger out, give your thumb a try, and let's create peace. And that also is to everyone themselves, individually as much as collectively. Be at peace yourself. Let's lay those foundations. Because frankly, peace is much better. You know, well, for most of us. So our Moonology card. Oh, we just had one of these. Full moon in Virgo. We just had a full moon in Virgo, if I remember rightly. And this is, you are good enough. Now that's part of what happens when we're looking at healing. When we're looking at the freedom that we want in our world, in our life, the peace, is knowing that we are good enough. And you know what? You are good enough. You're here? Of course you're good enough. I know, your head says, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I can't do that. That's not me. You know, I tried, but it just, people always tell me that I'm just not good enough, and yeah, they're probably, oh, no, they're not right. No, you are good enough. You have to believe it so that you can live it. I hope I wasn't too firm with you. That's my Cancerian moon mixed with my Leo sun coming out there. Sometimes it can be. Oh! Answering the call. So, let's have a look. Answering the call that you are good enough. You are good enough. This was again, yes. Find your purpose. Answer your call. Find your purpose for being here. Answer the call. And it brings you freedom. Again, this is a universal, but it's the energies of what's going on. With the energies of what's going on, that affects us all because we are all collectively here. So our card is, I am a pioneer. Now 19 is a number of standing on your own 2 feet. It's an independence. You've got the 1, you've got the 9. The 9 is the completion of 1 going into, you've gone from the 1 to the 9. So it's kind of a completion of the cycle, because in numerology it goes from 1 to 9. But it's also a master number in what I use, because it's about standing on your own 2 feet. So what does this one say? Oh, independence and self-sufficiency are necessities to you. You are extremely capable in life and in work, and aren't afraid to take big risks to achieve the life you desire. So, be the pioneer in your way, because you're good enough. Answer your call. Right? Answer the call of what you came here to do. So, that was the 2nd of March. Now we're going on to the 3rd. Now the 3rd of March, this is going to be interesting, because there's a music in the park in the town where I live. So it should be a very, very interesting day, because they're very just wonderful people, very a mix of musicians and freedom-loving people, and it's a wonderful, wonderful day. So, anyway, the 3rd of March is the 5 day. Now, here's key words with the 5 day. Expect the unexpected. It's the odd. It's the unusual. 5 is a gypsy number. It's also about public figures. It's also about hazards and accidents. So there could be, sadly, an increase in accidents. So we need to be more aware when we're out on the roads. Trust our intuition. If something doesn't feel right, listen to it. But 5 is definitely, it's an out there day. I would expect to hear some unusual things about public figures. You might find some dirt comes out. I hope it's actually some good things, because, geez, it's pretty dirty out there. There's been so much flung around. It'd be nice to have some good things. Oh, getting a dry throat there. So that's the 5. So the 3rd of March is a universal 5 day. So it could be pretty hectic. It's like, if you want to have a quiet house, don't, under any circumstances, live in a 5 house or where the numbers add up to 5. Because that is party central. That is people in and out, in and out. That is things happening, always on the go, or just lots going on. So if you want peace and quiet, avoid a 5 house, like totally avoid it. I think I've lived in 1 or 2. I don't live in one now. I'm in a 4 house. I'm laying foundations for the future. So, could be interesting. So anyway, I'm seeing cards I haven't actually seen before. So this is, now, let's have a look. Oh, okay. Bones for casting. Divination. Interesting, because the 5 is the out there number. It is the unusual. It is the gypsy. So what have we got in this one? Oh, very interesting. Insect support. So if we look at that, these two together, divination is messages from spirit. It's messages from the other side. It's guidance from the other side that give us support. And sometimes, usually in the form of butterflies or dragonflies. They're the usual ones, but it really, insects are one of the most common ways spirit comes to be with us in a physical form. And I have personal experience of that. My dad came to me once at a very, very special time. I was on a very amazing camp called the Women of Courage Camp. And on the first night, this was to help people get through trauma and grief and that. And I was still grieving my dad. And I was privileged to go on this camp. And the first night, we were in the mess area, the canteen area and all this. It was a beautiful place. And it was night time. A small dragonfly came and just sat on my hand. Just sat there. And I'm just like, whoa, a dragonfly at night? And just sitting there. And Dad was not a tall person. I took after him, short and squat. So this dragonfly just sat there, little one. And then I realised, this is Dad. That was it, I was gone. I was a bit of a mess. But it was him giving his approval for what I was doing. And it was uplifting. It gave me a feeling of support through support from spirit. And divination is a form of support from the higher realms. Because it comes from spirit, it comes from guides, it comes from archangels. It's just a way of them being able to speak to us. So, we're looking at the 5-day, where are these cards? Yes, so we'll look at our Moonology card. This is full moon in Aries. A fiery climax approaches. Oh boy. 5-day. What did I say about a 5-day? You guys. A fiery climax approaches. Well, we're halfway towards the end of the cycle. We're just over halfway. So we're in the 5. In fact, that is exactly halfway. A fiery climax approaches. Whoa. So the 3rd of March could be globally, universally, a bit of a firecracker. So hold on to your hats. Take the messages from spirit. Know you have the support. It's going to be a firecracker. You cats. I wasn't counting on that one. So what have we got? Oh, talking stick. Right. Now, do you know, I don't know, some of you might not know what a talking stick is, but in many tribal cultures, the person who holds the talking stick is the person who's allowed to speak. They're the person who gives their words. If it's a tribal council, I'm not talking Survivor here. Yes, I just watched that tonight. But the talking stick has great significance. So whoever is holding the talking stick is the one talking. So on this day, avoid arguments, because it could lead to some fiery clashes. So use the talking stick. If someone else is talking, sit back, let them talk. That's okay. I've got to remember this. I've got a bad habit myself. It's part of the fibro with the brain, as well as my own little sort of impulse control issues. So, yeah, it's a good lesson. It's a good lesson to use the talking stick and go, right, I will let you talk. And then if I feel the need to talk, I will talk. But we won't. Let's not have any fiery clashes. Let's just go with it. Let's find our peace and our support. So that's a 5-day. Let's have a look at our number. Oh. So here's the message in numerology is I am harmonious. So what was I just saying? saying, don't get into the argument. Okay, you relate to others on an almost cosmic level. You are dedicated to building harmonious relationships of all kinds. You have the ability to persuade others to your point of view by using gentle means. So, that's the 20. Made up with the 2 with the 0. So, looking at these cards, the feeling I get is that this could be a firecracker day. Light the fuse and it's going to go off. So the idea is, don't light the fuse. Talk things through. Right? Be supportive. Ask Spirit for guidance. So that's on a universal level. So it's not for any particular star sign or anything. But there's our guidance for the 5th. Uncanny the way the cards come together. So now we are going to, that was the 3rd of March. I'm ahead of myself. Oh dear. Okay, so the 3rd of March. We're now into the 4th. Okay, hang on. I'll just move this up. I've got my notes here because it's a lot to remember. So the 4th is a 6th day. Now 6 is a family number. It's a number of duty and responsibility. It's about creating beauty and harmony around you, mainly beauty. It's a humanitarian out of a sense of duty and responsibility number. So it's helping others because you feel that that is what you're meant to do. So this is on a universal level. The shadow side of the 6 is dominance. There tends to be more dominance going on there. So taking into account what came up for the 3rd, on the 4th, I would say that we need to be careful of people being dominating. This is something that, with the energies going on right now, people are trying to cling to things, and that can make them more dominating. Also, people are becoming more sensitive, so they're being triggered easy. So if you feel that someone's being triggered, show some compassion. Show some understanding. Right? That's sort of a responsibility you have on your side to go, geez, you're reacting. Geez, you're going off and there doesn't seem to be a reason for it. Let's have a look. Maybe you're being triggered by something. Okay, well, if I stay calm, maybe we can work it out. Family. It could be dominating factors. So please, if you are in domestic violence situation, please look at getting help. Because no one deserves to be in that. Often the person doing it is very troubled, but that doesn't mean that you can be anyone's punching bag, verbal or otherwise. So, on that note, we're doing the 4th of March. So it's a 6th day, universal day. Looking at what's went on before, I do feel that dominance could be quite strong. But I also feel that people are going to feel a sense of duty to move forward, which is really good. Well, on the 4th of March, we get the Death card, which is not physical death. It's transformation. The Death card in Oracle and in Tarot is actually about the death of the old, beginning of the new. This is like the butterfly coming out of its cocoon. You spread your wings. You've gone through that transformation. And that's what the Death card is. So we've got that with, four-legged, which is endurance. Okay. Come through the fiery 5-day. We're now in the 6th day. We're looking at there could be some dominating factors, and could be family issues, but it's calling for your sense of duty and responsibility and bring forth humanitarian thoughts and actions, which can lead to transformation. We can bring a death of the old. We can change things. And from that, having the endurance to see this transformation through, to have that sense of duty, sense of responsibility towards changing the world for the better. This is on a universal level. So let's see if the Moonology gives us more hints. Full moon in Pisces. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. This is giving a clue, because we've got the transformation. We've got perseverance. Perseverance and transformation. We want to have balance. Balance between the spiritual and the practicality. So keeping that balance is important on a 6th day. So I would say after the 5, what's come out with the 5, it could be a pretty fiery day. On the 3rd, which is picking up the pieces on the 4th. I just realised what I've got on the 4th. That could be very interesting. So I'm just thinking about this for myself, and it's like, wow, that's got me thinking. So your duty, your responsibility is to look at finding ways to... I don't like keeping the peace, but that's what was going through my head. Right, thank you. Got it now. Keeping the peace in a balanced and spiritual way. So be practical along with spiritual as you find balance to see these through. Have the endurance. You can do it. You can work it. You can transform. It's an amazing feeling when you realize that you've actually come a long way. So it's a wonderful thing. So then we come to nature spirit. Thunder drum. Wow. Okay. With this, herald in new transformation. Have the endurance for this transformation. Sound it out. Find the balance between practicality and spirituality. Sound it out. Put it out there to the 4 winds. Put it out there. Sound your drum. Right? In a calm way, peaceful way, but like allow the transformation that's come out of all this upheaval that's going on. And numerology is 18. I am kind-hearted. So while you sound your drum, right, and you're finding, I just kicked the stand, and you're finding your practicality and your spirituality, you're having the endurance to work through your transformation brought on. Be kind-hearted. Let your kindness speak. That's a duty and responsibility thing. So 18 years, you are both open-minded and open-hearted, and your ambition is to leave this world better than you found it. Ensure that your goals are aligned with the collective need, which is humanitarian out of a sense of duty, responsibility, and with the highest good of all. So this could be a day of you finding a way that you can help the world in your own way. So could be a very interesting day. For me, I'm going to be having an EMD session on that day, so it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. I learn as much as everyone else. You don't stop learning. Even when you die, there's always something new to start, a new journey to start. So never stop learning. So we're going to number 5, the 5th. The 5th of March, okay, which is 7 day. Now 7 is a scientific, it's a philosophical, theological, it's the deeper side of life's religion. It's about looking within. It's the hidden realms. It is a spiritual number. It's not a day for chasing money. Someone better tell someone in a lot of trouble owing a lot of money that that's not a day to do any grifting. Did I say that out loud? Honestly, this mouth will come out with anything. Okay, now that I've said that. Okay, it's a 7 day. So what have we got for the 7 day? Oh. We've gone from a drum to a rattle. Disperse. What are we dispersing on a 7 day? This is interesting. Like I said, I haven't seen what's here yet. Oh. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love how spirit works. It says stone people. I didn't get that right, didn't I? Yeah, I can't read backwards. Stone people. It's about knowing. And that's with the 7. That's where the 7 comes in. You have, with a 7, there is an inner knowing. It's that gift of discernment. So, disperse, give out freely your knowledge. If you've got, like me and so many others here on YouTube, if you've got a story, if you feel that you've got something that you can teach, and you're not afraid to be in front of the camera, it's not that hard. There's no, I can't see the audience. I can't see all of you. I wish I could, actually, because it'd be much better. But then I'm not afraid of being on a stage or anything like that, if that wasn't obvious. But yeah, stone people knowing. Disperse the knowledge. Put it out there. That is the 7. 7 is a number about knowledge. Wow, I love it. I love it a lot. Oh, what have we got? Waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. So as we've come out of the 3rd and the 4th, we're looking within. We're dispersing our knowledge. And we're letting this energy gain momentum. Now, on a universal level, this is a great day to do global meditations, global energy shifting. We have a lot more power than we ever use. And one of the greatest things that we can do is collective energy. And I've been a part of this a few times. It's a little bit harder at the moment for me, but that's a different story. But I've been part of global meditations. There is a particular time, and just people all around the world come together at that time in their own home or in a park, or sometimes people in a town or city will get together and do it all together. And it's to raise the vibration, to put out energy, positive energy, healing energy. Well, the 5th of March is a great day to do that. This is what the cards are saying. The energy is gaining momentum. So let's make it positive energy. What have we got in nature's... Oh, because it's the circle of life. It's as the energy gains momentum, as you put out this energy, as you bring out more knowing and more understanding, and more people are raising the vibration by sharing positive information. It creates a circle of life that is incredible, and the energy that is created from that. And know that you are supported. I am supported. The double fours. And being a universal 8-year, always good to have the support of the double fours. So it says, your angels are encouraging you to continue on your present life path with diligence and determination, and even greater success will come in the future. So, putting this together on a global level, on a universal level, we want you to disperse, put out your knowledge, share your knowledge, share your knowing, increase the energy. It's gathering momentum as we bring about the circle of life, raising the vibration, letting it spread further out. If you look at the rings, the stone rings, and they're going out in a spiral, it's spreading out. It's like a drop in water and the ripples spread out. That's where the energy can gain momentum, like a drop of water in the ocean sends that ripple out. And as you do this, know that you are supported. The universe supports you. Wow, that was pretty cool. So we've gone now from the 5th to the 6th of March. Oh, well, I thought this might be a quick one. I'm glad I just did the week. So we're on the 6th of March, which is an 8-day. Now, an 8-day, 8 is a number of management. It's money, it's finances, it's business. There can be emotional challenges with the number 8. So we are in a universal 8-year. So we have all this money and business and finance, but it calls for management and good management. It calls for you to make good and wise decisions in an 8. As with the infinity, it's the cycle, and we're coming to, it's heralding in the 9, so the 8 comes before the 9 naturally, and the 9 is the completion. So it's saying have all your ducks in a row. Use the 8 to have your ducks in the row for the completion. So on an 8-day, it's about, globally, and as we're all part of the global community, this goes with you as well. And that is, use this energy to use good management, to make wise decisions, and be prepared that there could be some emotional issues. It may not directly affect you, but there will be stuff going on. You might see a lot of stock market stuff going on. Okay, I just got stock market rise. I don't follow the stock market. I don't know. I know there's a Dow in, what was it, Yangtze or something like that, or was that a river? Oh well, I know. I've heard names. Sometimes when it gets to the finances, I tend to mute the news if I'm even watching the news. So I'm not a good person to talk to about the stock market at all. So, but yeah, that's the 8-day. So it could be an interesting day. I would be looking at the emotional issues and needing the good management and seeing how business goes. If you run a business ethically and with honesty and integrity, it could be a really good day for you. So here we've got, I've had this before. This is expression. The flute. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So an 8-day management, emotional issues, money, investment, maybe. Okay, we'll see what the other one says. What's the saying? Counsel. Is that saying counsel? Yeah, that's counsel. I haven't got my other glasses on. The light's not the best with this. So counsel. Watch, yes. I haven't seen this card before either. Express yourself using good management. Give counsel. So that's like talking things through, making wise decisions, looking at everything, which you may have been starting the day before as you investigate, because 7 is also an investigative number, whereas the 8 is the get out and do it, on a business level usually. So our Moonology card is, what was I just saying about, rise, stock market, getting out there, doing it because you've done your research the day before? Well, a win-win outcome is forecast. So it's of benefit to all. That's full moon in Libra. And Libra likes balance. So if we make wise decisions, if universally wise decisions are made, this can be a win-win. So this is the 6th of March. This could be a really, really positive day. Let's put out that energy because, wow, I always believe in win-win situations. So that's pretty good. Our native, Spirit Keeper of the West. Now, I haven't looked this one up. There's only so much this brain can handle at one time. Been pretty busy today. But when I look at the West, now the elements in tribal cultures, the elements and where the sun is, where the wind is coming from, everything, the mother, the earth, speaks very loudly to them. Now, when we think of the West is where the sun goes down. It's where its journey across the sky completes. I'm actually pointing where West is in my house right now. It's actually that way. But the Spirit Keeper of the West. So this is about, they're keeping counsel. This is making a bit of sense. The counsel, the expression, and being a 2 month, so music could become very expressive. There could be some amazing things with music, but express your beliefs, counsel, or you will see that in the world where what is expressed will help with the journey as a cycle starts to come to completion, because it's a win-win outcome. It's looking really like the 6th of March is a good day. Okay. Lucky for some, and some people don't like this number. This, to me, is a lucky number. I have another story on that. I won't go into it now because we're coming up to the hour mark and I didn't want to go this long. But we did. So we're just going to work with it. Number 13. I am confident. So in an 8-day, you want to be confident. You want to be able to express yourself with confidence, be able to hold your counsel. You want to be able to bring a particular cycle to its conclusion in a way that makes it a win-win outcome. So you need to be confident about it. 13 is you are a conscientious worker with a knack for coming up with creative ideas. That's where the 3 in the 13 comes from. Creative ideas and turning them into something real. An optimistic but practical outlook, because 1 and 3 adds up to 4. 4 is a practical number. Practical outlook keeps you determined and on track as you work steadily towards your goals. So work towards your goals. Let them travel their journey across the sky. Hold counsel. Expressing yourself harmoniously. If you look, that's a very, very harmonious card. Because, as we know, you have a high chance of a win-win outcome. And that's always good. Wow. So it's forecasting a win-win outcome. Follow the clues that you're being given. Use good, wise management. So, wow. It's going to be an interesting month. I think I was listening to something today on YouTube and it was saying, see, I'm no astrology expert. I listen to other people. There's amazing people out there. So, but I remember, I can't remember who it was that said it, but the first week in March is a really good week. So, heaven knows the earth needs a good week. Apart from the 3rd of March, which is looking pretty fiery. So we come to our last day of this week that we're talking about, and that is the 7th of March. Yes, well, after the 8 comes the 9. This is a 9-day. It's a completion day. There can be endings. The 9 is the number of the humanitarian out of love. Not out of duty, but out of love. A humanitarian, with the 9 energy, they just love to help people. They love to help make people grow. They don't do it because, well, this is what I've got to do. This is what I'm meant to do. No, they do it because, wow, it feels so good to see the outcome. They do it because I don't care whether I get paid or not. I've got to put a roof over my head and all that sort of stuff. But I just do it because I love it. And that's the 9. 9 is a dramatic number. It puts colour and drama into life. 9 can be a theatrical number. So it's also, it's a number because there's endings that can happen. It requires compassion. So we'll see what the cards say to get a clue of what's going on here. Bells. So we have bells. Bells on antlers. And that is, oh, interesting. Deflection. Oh, okay. So what are we saying with that? Oh, this is interesting because we get the trickster. And that's a challenge. So maybe the challenge is either in the deflection, and we do see a lot of that where it's like, particularly in politics, world politics, it's look this way so you don't see what I'm doing over here. It's like, yeah, right. Those who are aware, they're going, oh, you want me to look that way, but sorry, no, I want to see what you're doing over there. So there's an advantage of being aware. Woke. Oh, I said that word. So, be there with bells on. There's a trickster in the mix. It's a challenge. Now let's see where this is going with this. Being a 9-day, a trickster, maybe a trickster will come undone. Okay, let's see what's in the Moonology. Oh, okay. This is interesting because we have got first quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. So we're looking at trickster, trying to maybe deflect you off your path. So your commitment to your journey, to where you're going, could be getting tested by a trickster. Okay. This is so I would actually looking at just these 3 cards. I would be saying this is more about there being a lot of drama on the 7th of March. Someone trying to cause challenges to the way we think, to the way we work, trying to deflect us away from our journey, from the commitment we have to our journey. So Nature Spirit says, have your bag of tricks, your medicine bag. In tribal times, medicine bags is where they put the medicines, the herbs, crystals, berries, all the things that would help our growth. Stand with your medicine bag. Stay strong to your commitment. No matter what anyone else says. Oh, okay. The feeling I got. Oh, gee. I guess I've got to be careful how I say this. So I'm going to be maybe a little bit symbolic, a little bit creative in what I'm going to say. But I'm going to go with what came to me. That you might know what works for you. You might know where your commitment lies. But something or someone, and I get the feeling it's going to be, via media. But it's put out by a higher source. So media is just reporting what they're being told. But it's a trickster. We need to be really on our guard on the 7th of March because it's going to try and deflect us off the path. So the feeling I get with that is there's going to be misinformation coming out that on the 7th of March that's about causing drama and trying to steer us away from what we know is good medicine, from what we are committed to. So testing our commitment. Wow, okay. That's bringing the week to an interesting conclusion. Oh, boy. Now this card, okay, it's the numerology cards, all that, but the feeling the moment I got is that there is a charismatic identity that, or identities, it could be plural, but there's charisma, because we got the I am charismatic, the 3. Remember, the 3 is the number of joy and all that, but it also is selfishness and self-centeredness. So I'm applying it to what all the other cards were saying. I will read this out. Expression comes naturally to you. So with a charismatic person, they have the gift of the gab, as we call it. And they have that way of being able to sweet talk and say things. I'm sure we've all seen plenty of people like that. So you are very skilled at communicating your thoughts through conversation and creative pursuits. That's what happens. You are able to get others on board with your ideas. Oh boy. What was this about? This one was about the trickster coming along. The trickster is coming along to deflect, to take us, manipulate us, manipulate away from what we know is right, because we are committed to what we know is right. And we have to stand strong in our medicine of truth and not let the charismatic one steer us away from what we know is right. Wow. Okay, that I didn't expect. I love the way these things come out, but wow, I did not expect that. So, yeah, we've gone over the hour mark, but what an interesting week. Actually, I'm glad I've broken up into doing separate weeks, because even though it's still a long video, we can spend a little bit more time on the numbers and the energies and what the cards are saying to try and pinpoint it down more. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what's in store for us in March. Now, I'm going to upload this in most of the people here, you're in other time zones. So you're going into, let's have a look, you're in the 29th. Here in Australia, we've just gone into the 1st of March, because it is 12:13 a.m. So I better finish so I can get this uploaded. It's going to be a late one. That's all right. I live musician hours anyway. So I'm going to bid you adieu. I won't go on for too long. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. It's free. Let's get over the 100. I haven't actually checked how many I've got. Last I saw I had 95. So let's get over the 100. But just keep balanced. Keep your focus. Stay true in your heart. And give compassion. It's needed so much. And for heaven's sakes, be aware. If someone's telling you to look that way, chances are it's because they don't want you to look that way. And if they don't want you to look that way, that's the way you need to be looking. On that note, I'm going to bid you adieu. Stay safe. Stay well. Stay happy. Bring cheer and joy. Go out and dance in the rain. In the supermarket aisle. Who cares? Be you. That's all that matters. Be true to you. And I'm going to leave it at that. Now that Leo is settled. Oh, he's fast asleep. Now that he's settled down. I don't know. Let's have a look. Can you see him? He's settled. He's fast asleep. I've got Skittles down beside me. She's just looking around. And I will bid you adieu, and we'll see you next time. Let's get this loaded. Let's get ready for March. See you later.